Alright, I think everyone is going to agree that when you're watching anime or any other piece of media for that matter, and you see a threatening villain that is established as an ancient, intelligent mastermind, you expect them, well, to act like an ancient, intelligent mastermind. Well, today we're going to talk about a story and a character who's portrayed as all of those things, but no, he's not smart at all. Muzan Kibutsuji from DemonSlayer, and yes, I did say Muzan and not some other demon, because surprisingly, despite being the main antagonist of the entire series, he's probably one of the weakest written villains in modern shonen anime. Now, the thing is, I've seen a lot of videos that talk about DemonSlayer, and it's typically either praise for the animation, discussion about the fights, or debates about which Hashira is strongest. But very few people actually stop to ask, wait, is Muzan actually a good villain? In my case, however, the more I watched, the more I realized this 1,000-year-old demon lord makes decisions that would get him fired from a part-time job at McDonald's. Now, since I already invested time in watching all of DemonSlayer, I at least can make a video about it depicting a main villain who essentially the story revolves around, and essentially the main antagonist, who is supposed to be like a really threatening and intelligent demon king, but in reality he's not, and the story just adjusts so he seems more competent than he actually is. And when I say adjust, I literally mean adjust, because there's a pattern that's supposed to describe Muzan as threatening and intelligent, but it really isn't good. Muzan is portrayed as this ancient being who's had over 1,000 years to perfect his plans, yet somehow he keeps making the dumbest decisions possible. His incompetence is so staggering that the DemonSlayer Corps, an organization that was nearly extinct multiple times, keeps surviving purely because Muzan can't stop shooting himself in the foot. Let me break down the fundamental problem with Muzan Kibutsuji. He's supposed to be the ultimate threat, a 1,000-year-old demon who's so powerful that he can create other demons by sharing his blood. He's immortal, he's constantly evolving, he has a network of demons under his control, and his goal is simple: find the blue spider lily that will let him walk in sunlight and eliminate the demon slayers who pose a threat to him. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, get ready, because this demon king has the strategic planning skills of a goldfish. Let's start with Muzan's management of the UpperMoons. These are supposed to be his elite demons, his strongest soldiers, the demons that have survived for centuries and are supposed to be nearly unbeatable. And how does Muzan use them? He doesn't. He literally just lets them do whatever they want for decades at a time. Think about it. You have 6 incredibly powerful demons at your disposal. The DemonSlayer Corps has what, 9 Hashira at most? You have a numbers advantage, you have a power advantage, and your enemies are literally just humans with swords? The obvious strategy here is send all your UpperMoons to attack the DemonSlayer Corps headquarters at the same time. Game over, series done, demons win. But no, Muzan instead lets his UpperMoons just vibe in their own territories, doing their own thing for literal centuries. UpperMoon 6 is running a brothel in the entertainment district. UpperMoon 4 is chilling in a forest. UpperMoon 3 is just wandering around looking for strong opponents to fight because he's got martial arts brain rot. These demons aren't executing any kind of coordinated strategy. They're not actively hunting Hashira. They're just existing and occasionally eating people when they feel like it. And you know what's even funnier? When the UpperMoons do encounter Hashira, they fight them one at a time like they're in some kind of turn-based RPG. UpperMoon 6 fights 3 Hashira and barely loses. UpperMoon 3 fights 2 Hashira and loses. UpperMoon 2 fights multiple demon slayers and loses. Every single time, it's because Muzan doesn't coordinate his demons. He just lets them get picked off one by one. Here's what really gets me. Muzan knows where the DemonSlayer Corps headquarters is. He literally attacks it in the final arc. So why didn't he do this, I don't know, 900 years ago? Why did he wait until the Demon Slayers had trained multiple generations of Hashira, perfected their breathing techniques, and had accumulated centuries of knowledge about fighting demons? Muzan had 1,000 years to just show up with his 6 UpperMoons and delete the Demon Slayer Corps from existence, but he just never did it.
Now let's talk about the Infinite Fortress, which is like Muzan's base of operations. It's this infinite maze controlled by Nakime, UpperMoon 4, who can manipulate the entire structure with her biwa. Sounds cool, right? Impossible to navigate, impossible to escape, the perfect fortress. Except Muzan uses it in the stupidest way possible. Instead of using the Infinite Fortress as an impenetrable base where he can safely search for the blue spider lily without interference, he decides to bring all the demon slayers inside it for one one big final battle. He literally imports his enemies into his own base. Imagine if Voldemort invited all of Hogwarts into his secret hideout. That's essentially what Muzan does. And the best part? The Demon Slayers figure out how to navigate it relatively quickly. They split up, they find the UpperMoons, they fight them, and they win. The infinite maze that's supposed to be impossible to navigate becomes just a fancy backdrop for a series of boss fights. Nakime, who controls the entire fortress, gets killed, and suddenly Muzan's impenetrable fortress just collapses and dumps everyone into the real world. You know what would have been smart? Using the infinite fortress to separate and isolate Demon Slayers, then having multiple UpperMoons gang up on them one at a time. You could teleport 6 UpperMoons onto one Hashira and just instantly win. But no, Muzan somehow arranges it so that every fight is relatively fair, and his demons keep losing. Let's talk about Muzan's main goal, finding the blue spider lily. This is the flower that will supposedly make him immune to sunlight, which is like the one weakness demons have. And Muzan has been searching for this flower for over 1,000 years. Over 1,000 years. And he still hasn't found it. You wanna know why? Because his search strategy is absolutely abysmal. Instead of having his thousands of demons systematically search every region of Japan, instead of using his vast resources to coordinate an organized search, Muzan just kind of hopes he'll stumble across it. He sends demons out to eat people and occasionally tells them, hey, if you see a blue flower, let me know. That's it. That's his entire strategy. 1,000 years of this. But wait, it gets dumber. In the final arc, it's revealed that the blue spider lily only blooms during the daytime for a few days a year. You know, during the time when demons can't go outside because they'll burn to death in sunlight. So Muzan's entire strategy of having demons search for this flower is fundamentally flawed from the start. He's been using the wrong approach for a literal millennium. Now you might say, but Muzan can't go outside during the day, so how would he search for it? Well, here's a wild idea. Use humans. Muzan can disguise himself as a human perfectly. He's done it multiple times throughout the series. He's lived among humans, he's had human families, he's integrated into human society. So why doesn't he just hire a bunch of humans to search for the flower, offer a massive reward, describe what it looks like, and have thousands of people searching for it during the daytime? But no, Muzan never thinks of this. For 1,000 years, he never once considers using humans to search for a flower that only appears during the day. This is like if someone spent their entire life searching for nocturnal animals, but only looked during the daytime. It's so fundamentally stupid that it hurts. Oh, and let's talk about Muzan's management style. Whenever one of his demons fails to accomplish something or gets defeated by a demon slayer, Muzan's response is to kill them. Just straight up executes them. Lower moon demons didn't find Nezuko fast enough? Kill all of them except one. This is possibly the worst management strategy in the history of fiction. Muzan creates demons by giving them his blood, which means every demon he creates costs him resources. He's investing his own power into these demons, training them, letting them grow stronger over decades or centuries, and then when they fail once, he kills them. Do you understand how inefficient this is? It's like if a company spent millions of dollars training an employee and then fired them the first time they made a mistake.
Let's talk about Muzan's backstory, which is supposed to explain why he's the way he is. According to his backstory, Muzan was a sickly human who was dying of an illness. A doctor gave him an experimental treatment using the blue spider lily, which turned him into the first demon. Muzan killed the doctor before the treatment was complete, which is why he's still weak to sunlight. Okay, so that explains how he became a demon and why he's searching for the blue spider lily. But what has he been doing for the past 1,000 years? Because as far as we can tell, he's just been wandering around Japan, occasionally eating people, creating demons, and failing to find the blue spider lily. 1,000 years is a really long time. That's enough time to conquer entire nations, accumulate unimaginable wealth, develop new technologies, infiltrate every level of human society, and systematically eliminate every single Demon Slayer bloodline. But Muzan doesn't do any of that. He just kind of exists. He doesn't even have a compelling motivation. His goal is to find the blue spider lily so he can walk in the sun. This is such a weak motivation for a main villain. Compare this to other shonen villains. Aizen wanted to overthrow the Soul King and remake reality. Pain wanted to create lasting peace through fear. Madara wanted to trap everyone in an illusion to end suffering. These are villains with complex motivations that drive the plot forward. Muzan just wants to walk outside during the day. That's it. And he spent 1,000 years failing to accomplish this incredibly simple goal. If you're a writer creating your own villain, take notes on what not
not to do from Muzan Kibutsuji. Give your villain clear goals and motivations. Make them intelligent and competent. Have them pose a genuine threat to your heroes. Give them depth and complexity. And for the love of God, don't have them make stupid decisions just to move the plot forward. And I think that is it for today. Tell me in the comments if you liked this video. If you want to see more videos like this, like, subscribe, and see you next time.